Ukraine. Have you heard about this? We got a situation brewing. They have officially seceded in Crimea from the Ukraine. They voted. They're joining Russia. 97%, just shy of the 100% that Kim Jong-un got in his re-election bid in North Korea. Pretty good, right? There was an interesting op-ed in USA Today by Ron Paul, not Rand Paul, he's hot these days, but it was by Ron Paul about what the US's role in Ukraine should be. What's the big deal? Opponents of the Crimea vote like to point out to the illegality of the referendum, but self-determination is a centerpiece of international law. Article 1 of the United Nations Charter points out clearly that the purpose of the UN is to develop friendly relations among nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples. Perhaps the US officials who supported the unconstitutional overthrow of Ukraine's government should refocus their energies on learning our own constitution, which does not allow the US government to overthrow governments overseas or send $1 billion to bail out Ukraine and its international creditors. Okay, so I thought this was interesting because you're not going to hear anything about Rand Paul's feelings on this in the news, but I think he does sum up sort of the way a lot of people feel. Like, what the hell does this have to do with us? That's sort of how I feel. How do you guys feel? What should our role in this place that's halfway across the world be?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I sort of disagree with Ron Paul in this, which is I think this is a big issue and the world focus should be on this right now. I think this is a really important moment geopolitically when the borders are shifting and we should be paying attention. And I think if it wasn't for so much focus on the Malaysian plane, I do think we would be paying attention. So, I mean, that's my take on it. And, you know, Ron Paul and I sort of disagree about a lot of things.
So you think the 25-hour-a-day coverage of the plane is a bit too much? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, I'm into the plane coverage, but I also just think that this is an important moment. It's an important moment for the United States, it's an important moment for Europe, and it's an important moment for the Ukraine, certainly, and Russia.
All right, so we'll talk about why it's important, but first, do you put it in that category somewhere?
I mean, no, I definitely agree. I mean, forget the fact that Ron Paul is the guy, old man on his lawn, yelling about the thing in the paper he saw this morning.
Handing out flyers while he's doing it, yeah.
But, I mean, you can't ignore the fact that a country was just taken back by another country because they saw a hole in the gate. Like, it's literally like the guy next door is Putin and he hears you and your wife arguing and he goes, well, here's my chance to go take this guy's wife because they're fighting, so I can get in there. And like, why? Like, that's serious to like, you can just take another country. Like, what year is this?
Right. So what should our role be, though? Because I'm with you guys that, yeah, he should not be doing this. And obviously the 97% that voted for it, obviously that's bullshit. But what should we do? Are we going to arm you? I mean, John McCain's saying we should arm Ukraine.
Well, like, he wants
another
angry old man.
Yeah, speaking of an angry old man, we'll top your angry old man.
The angry old man who yells, just get your gun. No matter what the situation is, get your gun.
But don't you think that what Ron Paul's saying, that does sort of resonate with a lot of people in the United States right now? Just this idea that we just shouldn't be all over the place. Whatever it is, we're only going to make it worse. I think that's sort of the thrust of it.
I mean, that's a valid point, I think, too. But you know, Ron Paul is also, has argued on the other side of that fence a lot of times where there should be sort of intervention. And certainly John McCain, who argues for intervention all the time. I mean, it's an opportunity that the world should be just focusing on attention and paying attention to this situation.
John McCain would argue for intervention in cupcake wars.
John McCain would argue for intervention in this right now. Right. Yeah. But don't you see this as sort of that Putin just feels like he can do whatever he wants? Using your analogy. So
right.
What?
And I think you can't be America and not do anything because you're America and everyone's like, you're supposed to be the one who helps us when when another country's in need. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, America, help us. And so when you do nothing, Obama's weak and he is unresponsive, and then when he does something, it's not the right thing. So as the world superpower, we have to, I mean, it's because the Bush-Iraq thing kind of burned out our tolerance for intervention just anywhere. And so we as a country have to realize, put that behind us. We have to focus on what's happening now, and we have to deal with problems that arise in the world that could affect us in the future, no matter what happened in the past. And if that means intervening in another country's, whatever it may be, we have to examine that
Well, and I also
what it
think
is.
that this is maybe the first opportunity where Putin is sort of putting back together the Soviet Union, and so we just have to pay attention to that. I think both from a political standpoint and also from a human rights standpoint, which this could cause a refugee crisis. I mean, this could be a serious. And I'm by no means a hawk, but this is a moment where I think let's keep an eye out and see what happens.
Is the scary part of this whole thing that maybe Sarah Palin and Mitt Romney were actually right about something? Is that truly the scariest part
I think it's totally a broken clock is right twice a day kind of thing, where it just so happened to really fall in their lap. And I mean, if you look at the opening ceremonies, it was really Putin pining for the USSR, like this is what he wanted, and he's trying to get the band back together.
Is the other problem here that this is sort of unmasked once again? I think that the UN is just sort of pointless when it comes to doing pretty much anything, because we veto things on the Security Council we don't like. Russia now invades another country, vetoes things that they don't like. So really, it is just up to us because we're the last superpower. So if we don't do anything, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't, because there's nobody else but us.
And the UN is good at blocking traffic in New York when they have the people in town. That's the one thing they're really good at.
So that 1 week when they have the General Assembly, they're really good at
shutting down the city.
East Side, Is there any point in the UN at this point?
I still have a lot of love for the UN, despite the fact that they brought cholera to Haiti, which was a personal issue and vendetta that I had against the UN. But I still think there is a place for a world body that can try to speak with a unified voice and a little bit of reason here and there. I think they've been ineffective a lot. There probably needs to be a lot of reform, but it would be a scary world, I think, that didn't have a United Nations.
Yeah, definitely.